Hi, I'm Terry Arnold. I've got some things I want to say, and I'm not quite sure how I want to do it, so bear with me. I'm going to start with my living room, and I'm going to walk outside because I'm trying to gather my thoughts, and being outdoors is helpful. Last night was a long, dark night for me. I got a call a couple of days ago from someone I love dearly who told me her doctors thought she had maybe 3 weeks. Unfortunately, she didn't make it much more than 4 days. This disease is so cruel. Then last night I got a call from her daughter saying, Mom is gone. I feel these deaths every time like they're new. And I also feel my own triggers of what it was like when I was a kid to be told my mom was dead, that she was gone. I would never have her physically in front of me again. And I remember how difficult it was to sleep that night. My mom died in a car wreck. Sometimes people wonder if it had something to do with cancer. No. It was sudden. There wasn't time for goodbyes. And I'm glad that my friend had the time with her mother, although we wanted a happy ending. So last night it was really, really hard to sleep. I'm going to be going to Atlanta this weekend to go to a funeral of another very close friend. No, I don't go to all their funerals. First of all, I hate to say it, there literally is not enough time. IBC is so cruel. I would go to a funeral every day. But some of the women I'm closer to, and it feels like the least I can do is pay that respect. This morning, getting to the sunrise was hard for me, and I'm always grateful. It's one reason I want to walk outside, because I want to show you something. I've got little tokens of things all over my house that women have given me. Mandy was one of those women, the one who passed away last night. She gave me a wind chime. I'll show it to you. It is beautiful, and it hangs outside my bedroom window. It's the very first thing I see every morning when I wake up. And it makes the most beautiful, deep tone, and it brings me a lot of peace. When Mandy called me to tell me her doctor only gave her a few weeks, she was actually apologizing because we were supposed to have a meetup this weekend, and she was helping plan it. She was worried about disappointing me. Isn't that bizarre? This woman is dying, and she's worried that she's going to be disappointing someone because she loved her IBC sister so much. And she spent a lot of time educating and fundraising for research. And that's kind of what I want to get to. The IBC Network Foundation needs your support. This is a highly fatal disease. I was recently part of a documentary that's being filmed, and I heard the doctor say over and over how IBC was such a fatal disease. Highly fatal disease, the most fatal disease of breast cancers. And I know that, but I want to change that, and we can change it through research. And I was in a course yesterday talking about how to keep your donors engaged, and it was, I admit, an incredibly depressing course. It was like how donations are down in the U.S. lower than any other time in the history of the U.S., how people are not going to church, how they are not donating and they are not volunteering, and how the patterns of our community have changed. And one of the things they were talking about is about the donations being down and how we have to find ways to engage with our donors. Now, I can't tell you when you send us $1 at the IBC Network Foundation that we paid for mammogram, or we paid for this, that you can see this one tangible outcome. But what I can tell you is, which doesn't sound sexy at all, is we paid for a mouse, or we paid for a clinical trial, or we paid for something that in 10 years is going to make something happen. Because that sounds slow and arduous. But cancer research is slow, and it is arduous. But what I can tell you is that we're incredibly lean. And when we work with these hospitals, we negotiate the contracts, that there's no indirect taken off of the top where they can just do whatever they want, that the money is pure and it is applied. Is it fast? No. Research is slow. We need some caution for safety. Is it something that sounds as exciting as we helped someone feel better about their body image by teaching them hair and makeup, or we taught them how to go fly fishing, or maybe journal, and help them with all those wonderful emotional things? No. But what we can do is tell you that we are actually advocating and creating education that is helping women get diagnosed quicker, better. We're helping get them to the right care so they don't get the wrong treatment, because inflammatory has a different set of standards than generic breast cancer. Even though that's awful, it is a different disease with different treatment options. And what we can tell you is the IBC network is the only IBC specific charity that's funding research for inflammatory breast cancer. And we fund late stage breast cancer, which is not what most charities do. We also fund triple negative research. And we do that because about 40% of women with inflammatory also have triple negative. So we're doing something that's helping on a wider base. The other thing they said in this course, which I thought was very interesting, is that people aren't donating not because of concerns of war, poverty, the pandemic, the hardships we've had. It boiled down to trust, lack of relationship and trust, and how they have to have a relationship to make the commitment. So we want to invite you to have a relationship with us. We want one with you. And for the ones of you who already donate regularly, we're very, very grateful. But in 2021 was the year we thought we were writing $1 million in checks and research. We are down to a fraction of that because we don't have the funds to write those checks. We know it will come back, but when you see that research is slow, we need to come back faster so we can be there for these doctors. Because I don't want to get another phone call where a woman calls me and says, I'm out of options, and they think I maybe have a few weeks. And unfortunately what happened to her is not uncommon. She only had a few days. We can do something to stop this disease. Research matters. And I will not forget Mandy, because her bell is hanging out my bedroom window. I see her every morning. And I won't forget Rebecca, who I'm going to visit her family this weekend in Georgia for her funeral. And I pray God that we can do something about this disease. And I know with your help we can. So if there's something you want to know about the IBC Network Foundation, send me an email, give me a phone call. I'm incredibly accessible. We need to fund research. We need now. Make us your charity the choice. Make that commitment. Become a monthly donor, no matter how small it is, or when you once a year make your major charity donations. Even if it's your idea of a major charity donation, $100, that's major to us. Become a donor. Together we can save lives. We don't need these dark days. We can do something to stop this. Thank you for listening, and hope always, even when it's through tears.